one of those nights. Hello, good evening. My name is Robert Winham. I'm the conductor of the string orchestras here at JFK. The group that you see on stage right now is our sixth grade orchestra. We're going to play for you in just a minute. Before we do that, I have to do my theater ushering job. In case of emergency, we have exits in the back. There's an exit over here, there's an exit over here, and there's an exit through the curtains over there. So if there's any type of emergency, find yourself to an exit calmly, and we will meet you out in the parking lot, I promise. Tonight, I don't know if you've noticed, but we are being recorded. And I have some information for everybody. I thought I had information for everybody. Yes, I do. The concert is going to be broadcast on Cox Channel 16, UVerse Channel 99, and on Enfield Television channel on the Enfield Television channel on YouTube. So it should be up, I believe they said, either tomorrow or Monday at the latest. So if you would like to see it after it's all over, you can check it out on YouTube or any of the local TV stations. Before we get started, and I promise I'm not going to talk a lot, but there's a little spiel that I do at the beginning of every our first sixth grade concert. These are all students that have been playing for 1 year or less. So we have a few that have just started this year and have worked really hard to get to the point that you're going to see tonight. Being a string person, I like to brag about the fact that strings are one of the hardest things to do in music. Okay, you've got one arm, it's got the bow going, one hand doing this. You have to figure out what note it is. You've got to read the music, put your finger in the right place, and then adjust if it's not in tune. And they are doing all of this, and they've done an awful lot of work, and I'm very proud of the work that they've been doing. So I'm very excited for you to see what they've been doing. We're going to start with a song called Buffalo Gals, which is an old American folk song. Okay, for our next song, we're going to do another old American folk song. It's an old American fiddle tune called Old Joe Clark. The younger grades, we do a lot of folk songs because it's the best way to really help with their tuning and things like that. So I'm going to do Old Joe Clark. For our next song, we're going to go across the ocean, and we're going to go to Ireland. We're going to be playing a song called Molly Malone. Sorry. Okay, for the final song for the sixth graders tonight, we're going to go across the ocean again, the other ocean, and we're going to go play a Japanese song called The Moon is Coming Out. This one is probably the most difficult one that we've done at the beginning of the year, because what you'll hear is there's three different parts going on with three different rhythms, which makes this much more difficult than some of the others that you've heard. Okay, this is our seventh grade orchestra. These are students that have been playing for 2+ years now. These students were playing not the exact same music that you just heard, but very, very similar music last year. So the really thing that I love about the format that we've got, you see the progression that they're going to go through over the years as they get older and as they become more experienced. So you'll hear a huge difference in the music now from what you just heard. One thing I do want to let everybody know, these instruments are very susceptible to weather changes, and our rooms in the back are not the warmest, and now we're out here where it's very warm, so we might have to occasionally in between songs stop, and I might have to retune people. So our instruments, because they're made out of wood, all of a sudden the strings just go, and then we have to fix it or they don't sound very good. With this group, I put a lot of thought into the music that I picked out for them. We're going to be doing three songs that there was a theme to, and the Hobbit movie had just come out this past winter. So all of the songs do represent something from the Lord of the Rings Hobbit type genre. The first song that we're going to be doing is called Goblin Boogie. Told you. All right, our next song that we're going to be doing quickly became one of our favorites. This is called Canyon Sunset, and it's, when you listen to it, it kind of represents a river running through a canyon. It's supposed to represent the time of day. It's a really beautiful song and one of our favorites to do. Yeah, and we have another section of the show for you, so you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. For our last performance, and like I said, I do hope you can see how far they've come. Like I said, they sounded just like the sixth graders, and the sixth graders I thought sounded wonderful. But you can see how far they come within the course of even half a year. For our last song, we're going to be doing a piece of music called Medieval Kings. Okay, I do want to remind you that after the 8th grade performance, we'll be meeting down in the cafeteria for some snacks that you might have provided, and a chance to mingle and talk. I don't know if the Enfield High School quartet, who did a wonderful job. I got to hear a little bit of it. I'm always running around in the back. I'd like to thank Mrs. S. an awful lot for bringing them up here. One of the really nice things about that is there are a couple in there that are former students of mine, so it's really nice to see what they're doing at the high school. So we will be able to meet and mingle and talk and stuff like that in the cafeteria after the 8th graders are done. Okay, and as you can probably already tell, this is our eighth grade orchestra. 2 years ago, they were the first sixth grade class to come up to JFK when we restructured all the schools. So they've been with me for quite a while now, and they've come a very long way. We don't necessarily have a theme to the pieces that we're going to be playing, but they are very difficult. We are going to be playing one holiday song because when the concert was originally scheduled January 8th, it wouldn't have been that weird to play a holiday song, but a month later, but we're playing it for you anyways because they really like to play the song. So we're going to start with a song called Ring Christmas Bells. Okay, we've decided this afternoon, we were practicing and we decided we were going to flip two of our songs around. So we're going to play Appalachian Sunrise, which was going to be our last song. We're going to play that one next. One thing that I forgot to mention about that song, the ending is a very difficult part. There's this thing in strings that we call shifting, where they actually move up the neck of the violin, or viola, or cello, or bass. And this is the first time that they've started shifting. So they're shifting up into what we call third position, which is kind of like no man's land on a stringed instrument, because there's nothing to tell them exactly where to put their fingers. So that's the whole ending is up in that upper position, and it's really kind of makes a very special end of the piece. For our last piece, our last song, this is we're going to be doing an Irish folk song called Gypsy Rover. This is one of my favorite things about being a teacher. I gave them this piece a while ago, actually at the end of last year, and they hated it. And they couldn't stand it. And when I brought it back out, and they're like, no, we don't want to do this song. And as of this afternoon, they're like, we want this to be our last song of the evening because we play it really, really good, and it's a really nice song. They like it a lot. This is probably their favorite song to do now. So makes a teacher feel vindicated when I hear that. So for our final selection, we're going to be doing Gypsy Rover.
Very